forgiveness. More about forgiveness. Forgiving someone does not mean constantly showering that person with attention and love. That is not what forgiveness means. Forgiveness is just in your core. You can tell yourself, I can forgive this person. But it doesn't mean you have to be calling them all the time and sending them gifts and visiting them all the time and hugging them and kissing them all the time. It doesn't mean that. It's just something you tell yourself in your heart. I don't have to hold anger against this person. That also doesn't mean you're never going to feel anger against that person ever again. The anger is still going to flare up. The anger and the hurt and the resentment is still going to flare up. Of course it is. It's there. It's like folding a piece of paper. The crease is always going to be there, right? That little crack in your heart is always going to be there. It doesn't mean you're never going to feel negative feelings toward that person ever again because I forgave them. All is good. All anger is gone. No. You're still going to be. Sometimes when you're in a grumpy mood, maybe it enters your mind and but you get over it because in your core you forgave them, right? You forgave them in your core, right? Doesn't mean you have to talk to the person. Doesn't mean you have to talk to the person all the time. You can choose not to talk to the person. Choose not to talk to the person. But because I know every time I talk to you, it gets difficult. So I don't have to talk to you, but I just know that I'm good. I don't hold the anger, and I forgave. It doesn't mean I'm never going to get angry at you ever again. I'm probably going to still feel resentment boiling up at times. But it doesn't mean that you're my enemy and I hate you, right? That's what forgiveness is. It means not turning the person into your enemy and you hate this person. Again, you might still feel like I hate that person sometimes. The feelings of hate are still going to come, right? It is all about what's going on in your core, the core of your heart. What's going on in the core of your heart. It's like an octopus. There's the head of the octopus, and then tentacles are all like out here feeling all these crazy feelings, but in the center, the central part of your being and your mind is forgiveness. You might still have hate and resentment and flaring out, but inside you know you're good. This person's not my enemy. I don't have to make it my life goal, my life's goal, to show anger to that person. I don't have to talk to that person. I don't have to talk to that person. As long as you leave it on a positive, peaceful note. But if you know that every time you interact with that person, it's gonna get crazy, and just for your own sanity, you don't talk to that person. But as long as you left it on a peaceful note, and maybe when you're ready, if you've meditated for a good 72 hours and you can handle it, interact with the person briefly. It's all about what you can handle. Prepare yourself. Preparation. Inner strength. I think that's why people are afraid to forgive. If I forgive them, I'm going to have to be nice to them and talk to them all the time, and I don't want to do that because I totally understand, right? Totally understand. That doesn't mean you have to talk to them. It doesn't mean you just don't have the anger. You just don't have the anger in your core. You forgave. In your core, you forgave. That's where the fear of forgiving comes from. You feel like you're validating what they did. I don't want to validate what they did. Of course you don't. You shouldn't. It isn't validating what they did. The way to invalidate what someone did is just to show them. You have to kind of take something away. The way you teach a child not to hit another child. How do you do? I don't know. I don't have kids. How do you do that? Why does your child want to hit another child to begin with? That's the question. Why does your child want to hit another child? Anyway, this is not about children beating other children. What was I talking about? Forgiveness. It's so easy to go on a tangent. Where did I get? I'm just talking about children. Yeah, bottom line is, don't be afraid of forgiving because you feel like you're going to have to always be talking to the person. And be nice to them. That's not what it's good forgiveness is about. You can forgive and not talk to the person. Own up to what you did. Always clear your side of the court. Always keep your side of the court sparkly clean. Sparkly clean. My side of the court sparkly clean. Okay. I'm good. I can be cool. I'm good. I can be cool. Doesn't mean I have to interact with you if you're going to act like this. Okay. But you're not my enemy. Okay? The happy medium, the gray areas don't have to be. Sometimes black and white is good. Sometimes black and white is bad. It doesn't have to be in bed with the person or mortal enemy. It can be a gray area. Happy medium. It doesn't have to be enmeshment or complete no contact. Just chill. We don't want to be enmeshed. We don't want to be living in la la land in enmeshment. No, ever again. No. We don't want the icy no contact either. It's like, no contact, it's just icy. Just mature distance. Give you space, and I need space. And you need space too. And you'll probably appreciate the space I give you, hopefully. So forgiveness does not mean moving back in with them. Forgiveness does not mean calling them every day. A peaceful message, then get your space. Don't worry about what they're thinking. Do not worry about what another person... Is that person worrying about what you are thinking? Is that person worrying about what you are thinking? Probably not. So why are you worried about what that person is thinking? Why are you worried about comforting that person? Are you worried about comforting you ever? Sorry. Are they sitting at home? How can I make this person feel better? Are they feeling bad? How can I make this person... I just don't want them feeling bad. No, they're not. They're thinking about how they were slighted. They're not worried about comforting you. Why are you worried about comforting them? Stop. Cut that chain off. That's not... cut those chains. Cut those pity chains. Find a happy gray area. We must forgive. We must forgive. Can't hold that anger. It'll eat you inside. Must forgive. And the way to forgiveness is to know that forgiveness means my serenity comes first. Are we serene when we're angry? Everything, just angry at everything. That's not serenity. That's not serenity at all. Just everything. That bird, I hate that bird. That tree is getting on my nerves. I used to get annoyed at trees. I used to get annoyed at everything. That's serenity now. That's what non-forgiveness is. That's what no contact. My enemy is. That's not serenity. That's anger. Anger is not serenity. Anger is a disease. It will literally make you sick. So you must forgive. I feel like I'm repeating myself. A little redundant. Redundancy helps it really stick, right? That's why we practice is redundancy. So maybe I should repeat. I'll just make this a 2-hour-long video and just repeat the same thing over and over, but just in different ways, so it really sinks in. Okay. Was that clear? Is that clear? You don't have to move back in with the person. You don't have to call the person every day. You don't have to speak to the person, even if they want to speak to you. If you left it on a positive note, and they want to speak to you again, and you don't really want to speak to them because you know it's just going to be drama, you don't have to reply. You already cleaned up your court, and you let them know you're good. You don't have any anger against them, no grudges, as long as they know you're not holding a grudge. And then you take your space. You claim your space. And you talk to them when you're ready to talk to them, or if you don't want to talk to them. So there's a happy medium. You don't have to totally cut them off. I never forgive you, never forgive you, never, never, never. And you don't have to become enmeshed with them either. What is enmeshment? Enmeshment is when you're so wrapped up in what this person is thinking, and everything they say affects you. Everything they say just totally changes your mood. Basically, you become them. Just everything they think, you think. Everything they say about you, you believe. Your brain becomes their brain, basically. Your brain becomes their brain. You don't even know who you are anymore. You are obsessed about what they are thinking, that person is thinking, and how to influence what that person is. Someone's playing music. Someone's playing music. It's cool music, I like it. Why is this up? I don't know, you probably don't hear it. Oh, might be coming. Might be coming from our house. So don't be afraid to forgive. I want to be happy. I want to be happy. Happiness? Oh, happy. You want to not be freaking out all the time, right? Whatever happy is, right? Content. That requires forgiveness. Forgiveness requires letting go of the fear of the black and white thinking. And realizing that forgiveness isn't perfect. You're still going to flare up with the tentacles are still going to flare up, right? You just start thinking about it one day and you kind of get into it. You replay everything, you ruminate, right? You're living in the past. But then you calm down, I'm just whatever. I still forgive. Realize that the resentment's going to still come and go. It doesn't mean everything is going to be happy from now on. Did I repeat myself enough? Did I need to say it again? There's something I'm leaving out. Say you're in a marriage. I've never been married before. Say you're in a marriage. First of all, in any couple situation, both people mess up. If any one person has a mindset or only you messed up, not me, that's a problem right there. But sometimes someone seriously messed up, right? And you divorce that person. And you have a lot of anger towards that person. I'm never going to forgive them. I'm never going to forgive my ex-husband, ex-wife, ex-spouse. I'm never going to forgive the ex-spouse ever. It's unforgivable. And you're holding on to that anger. And then when around you can see that you're holding on to that anger. Okay. If I forgive the ex-spouse, that means I'm validating what they did. And I'm going to have to be nice to them. worries. Living in the past and the future. You're resentful. You're angry about the past, and you're worried about what's gonna happen if you did for you. Right? You let go of that fear. You're afraid and you're worried about what's gonna happen. We forgive the ex. We see what we did wrong. First, we see what the first thing is to put the microscope on yourself. Look into the mirror. Where did I go wrong? Okay. Did I make amends for it? Did I apologize? Did I clean up my court? If you don't clean up your court, they have a reason to peek over into your court and say, look at your court. You did this, you never apologized to me. You clean up your court, you make amends for what you did. Of course, there are going to be some things that you did wrong, that I did wrong. You make amends for what I did wrong. Clean up my court. Do they want to clean up their court? If they don't want to clean up their court, that's their problem, not mine. My court is clean. If they don't want to clean up their courts, do I need to interact with that person? No. Humility is required in any sane relationship. Humility is required in any sane relationship. Is there such a thing as a sane relationship? That's a question. I don't know. That's my question. Is there such a thing as a sane relationship? So you cleaned up your court. You made amends for everything you did wrong. You're still mad about what they did wrong. Why are you still mad about what they did wrong? Probably because they didn't apologize for it. They're acting like it's no biggie. Is that why you're still mad about it? If they gave you a sincere apology, it really showed you. They really made it mad. It made you feel like you know what I'm talking about. A sincere apology, heartfelt apology. If they gave you that, you're probably not so mad, right? Why would you still be mad? You're probably mad because you never got that apology. Your pain was never validated by the person. Your pain was never validated by the person. You feel invalid. I feel invalidated. Don't invalidate right here. Feeling invalidated. Okay. I'm not validating my pain. I'm validating my pain. That's how you feel, right? Okay, that's their problem. You validate your own pain. You validate your own pain. You don't need them to validate your pain. You validate your own pain. I have every right to feel hurt. I don't need you to approve my pain. Okay? Are you a pain approver? No. I'm the pain approver. Okay. Okay? I'm quality control, not you. Okay. You validate your own pain. You don't need someone else to validate your pain. So you forgive them. I can forgive you. And just stay away from you. Okay. That's how it works. No contact is icy. It's like, it's like you're not my enemy. You're not my mortal enemy. I don't want mortal enemies in my life. Okay? I don't know what it is. Mortal enemy list. These are my mortal enemies. And you. Stressful. I'm cool. Doesn't mean I have to reply to your messages. Because when I reply to your messages, it's drama. Replying to your messages equals drama. So you should understand. If you're a mature person, you should. The universe knows why you're not replying, and that's all that matters. Yourself knows, and the universe knows. That's all that matters. Do you have to explain why? You explain to this person? No. Yes, you know. It's drama every time you reply. It's drama every time you interact with this person. I can forgive you, but I don't have to interact with you. I love you, but just... Who needs space? You need space too, because every time you interact with me, you feel like you gotta be a drama queen. So we both need space. That's what forgiveness is. It's just silly putty. It's silly putty. You mold it. You make it work. Okay. On sharp edges. Silly putty is pliable. It's moldable. It's compromise. It's a puzzle. You be figuring it together. That's what forgiveness is. The biggie is you don't want the anger to eat your heart alive. Okay, it will. You gotta get rid of the anger. You gotta forgive. Let the resentment come and go, but I still forgive. You don't have to move back in with the person, but you can forgive. When they demand your attention, you don't have to give it. As long as you left it on a peaceful note. Okay? Forgiveness. For our own health. But not. No, I shouldn't say but not. Just forgiveness for our own health. And that's where it ends. And everyone's health. Everyone.